path is not just as a player. I think all of us are representative of jobs in esports, but it mirrors traditional sports in pretty much the same way. You've got, broadcasters, you've got production people, you've got marketing and sales, and now NIL and things like that. But really, esports is kind of a great accelerator for a lot of new businesses that are coming up in the metaverse and Web3, and there's a lot of new technology that is going to be needed. And so these STEM students that are also esports athletes are really the future workforce and leaders of tomorrow. And us, as well as all of our brand partners that we work with, really recognize this. And I think that's really, a key driver of why brands are in this space. They want to be part of building that future workforce and leadership and shaping it and supporting it. So, yeah, it's been a very interesting space to watch.
And we offer such a big, we offer such a big counterpart to traditional sports also, because it's a counterpart, but it's also the same, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you're traditional sports and they're done after their 2-a-day workout and they're done after their practice scrim, they're coming home to play Call of Duty and relax and put their feet up and get a drink and play video games. It grows their brain, problem-solving skills, and their hand-eye coordination while they're home. Hand-eye coordination, if you're a football player, massive skill. So it helps build those things while they're off the field. And then for us, vice versa, if you're an esports athlete, one of the errors I had growing up when I was competing in esports is that I was not active enough. I played sports, I competed a little bit, but I wasn't active enough truly when I look at it. So that's one area that esports players can learn from in terms of activity and physical and the marrying of both. People say, oh, sports and esports, video games. Not really. We're just kind of the tech industry's competitive form of competition, as to where traditional sports are more physical, hands-on. So I believe in the marrying of these two sectors and that they actually live together while also being counterparts.
Well, I think then, to speak to something about marrying, right, from traditional to esports, that to me speaks to this whole new thing. At least, again, from you guys, right? You guys have more traditional sports background, right? Paul, Lee, Mike, and all of that. But I think let's talk NIL then, because I think that's something that I think is really interesting. That, at least when I heard about it, right, of what we're trying to do with esports athletes, schools, programs in general. Because it wasn't something you would think normally, right? You could understand, right? Football player on the field, star quarterback. It makes sense, right? The guy is somebody that everybody knows on campus, whether you're on the team, off the team, or you're just going to the school. It makes sense. But I think nowadays it's not as common, or people don't think that they could be somebody that their name is out there, right? Or that they're known, right? As we're growing the space, as we're putting this together, it almost feels really interesting that your star entry in Valorant, or your star forward on Rocket League, right? Whatever the case might be, now they can have NIL deals. It's a thing out there, and I think, I don't know, maybe Mike, you want to start off, but
I think thank you for teeing that up. So I was talking for too long. I forgot to bring NIL into the mix, so it's a common occurrence, occupational hazard. So I would say that so NIL for I'm sure most of you watching understand what it is, but NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness, that term has been utilized to describe the transition of traditional student athletes, NCAA athletes, and their ability to monetize their name, image, and likeness. It went live July 1st, 2021, and it has continued over the course of the last nearly 14 months now. It's an interesting term because it's been co-opted to describe the NCAA's approach to student athletes being able to make endorsement money or be able to monetize any part of their name, image, and likeness. But it's been around forever, right? We've had athletes endorsing brands for over 100 years. Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees was endorsing brands 100 years ago, and it has continued onward from baseball cards all the way through now, where we have lots of different integrations of how influencers can monetize their followings. So what I would say on the traditional side is it's still a very young space. There are a lot of stories out there regarding NIL that tend to focus on the negative, or how out of control, I put in air quotes, it has gotten. but there is still a burgeoning marketplace for.
Alrighty, here we go. I was looking away, but listen, we're here, we're ready to go, and we're ready for some awesome NJCAAE action here with some Valorant to kick things off for week number 1. Of course, with Esports U, it's a little bit in the preseason, so we're gonna be rocking with that week number 1. 7 weeks for these teams to go ahead and show us what they got before we hit the playoffs and before we go crazy and watch teams really show us what they got. My name is Orbital. With me is Laird. Laird, how you doing today?
Oh, dude, I'm incredibly excited. This is one of the first Valorant events I've ever gotten to commentate, so it is my absolute pleasure to be on the mic for you guys here on the Esports U2 Twitch page. Now, tonight we have ourselves about a good old-fashioned Russell here in the Esports U preseason. It's going to be St. Clair College going up against Lackawanna against each other. And you know what? This is going to be a fun one, I think. The map picks are already in, and pretty standard except for a certain stage pick in there.
A certain one that I was told by you specifically that you are very upset that it's coming in here. I love that fact so much, and I definitely understand, right? We are taking a look at Bind, Breeze, and Ascent. Those are the 3 maps that we'll be playing through here, of course, in a best of 3. We may only get to see 2, but we will see Breeze, right? A map that some people really do dislike, and that's understandable. Now, as of note, for the next 2 weeks, we will not see Fracture. No, this is not because teams have said that only one side is the most dominant. It is because there were currently changes going through, and as teams do adjust, it has been deemed necessary to say, don't worry about it. Everyone gets a free ban on that map. But of course, that's not what we're talking about. Bind, Breeze, and Ascent, and I mean, Breeze is the one that you said specifically was a certain agent's not so fun map.
Yeah. I happen to be a bit of a Breach main myself, so whenever I see Breeze, I start to shudder a little bit. But I will say, very excited to see the Saints go at it. Saints are a very, very dominating program across the board in all of their esports events. I'm interested to see what Lackawanna could do to stack up against competition. Now, a couple days ago, there have been a couple of changes made to certain characters. Obviously, for the side of Lackawanna, we can see that Brick has locked in the Sky, whose flash has been adjusted very recently. And actually, the Saints, Darren, going to be rocking one as well. So this will be an interesting couple of matches, to say the least.
Yeah, it'll be the testing grounds as well, right? This is week number 1. As much as we like to give the teams credit that they come into the season very, very well prepped, it's still trying to work through some of those nitty-gritty moments, some of those moments where, hey, we're still trying to figure out our identity, maybe still trying to lock in the rosters, and everything of the sort. So week number 1 is a testing ground, and we also tend to see a lot of those sometimes mismatched matchups, right? Some teams coming out of the gate really, really strong, and they tend to have the spotlight shown on them a little bit more. Now, if we see that here, that'll be very, very fun to see, and that gives us a nice glimpse into the future. But of course, you want to see this lovely, lovely bind map, and it will be St. Clair to go ahead and be on the attacking side to kick things off and give us the proper management of how this map should be played.
Absolutely. So, this is a very fun map. You obviously have a bit of a rift thrown in with those teleporters on either side of B, which are very, very fun to work around, and makes up rotations a lot easier. So if you leave one site unguarded for just a moment, you got to be aware of that other team to hop on those teleporters and get rotated before you can even blink.
Yeah, and I mean, this is also one of those maps that we'd love to see the agent variety, right? You were mentioning it a little bit earlier, and we didn't touch on it just yet, and I kind of forced us away from that, so I would like to go back to that once we do get to see the agents once again. But it is quite standard, right? The chambers are still coming out. I think for a lot of these teams, they do prefer that. Along the side, the Fade has, of course, been moving forward a bit more, and St. Clair obviously picking that one up. But you take a look for the side of Lackawanna, and it's a bit more of the old glory days, right? The old glory days of all these agents, the Sky coming back in, coupled with that Viper, and then the Rays right behind it. So it is going to be a little bit more kind of the homegrown style of, we played this maybe a couple patches ago, so let's keep doing it.
Yes, so you will see a very, very long name representing, I believe, that's Bozy. So if you see FASD, the chamber for the side of Lackawanna, that's Bozy. That's who we're going to be talking about, just so we're not confusing people a little bit later on.
I do know someone had opted to call them face roll, but right now there is no face roll here. Boar is able to find Mystic Nyx very early on, and it'll be a first frag out, coupled with the paint shell. So very nice use of that utility. Around the corner, someone goes, but Globe is able to find Endeavor. Not endeavoring through that death, but Globe is now kind of stuck into a little bit of a corner here in Showers. So gonna be dancing around that complication. St. Clair, though, get a very, very quick plant. And now it's gonna be a retake defense. Borge going ahead and getting around the corner and saying, hey, I found a ever so lying in wait brick. And that puts it into a 3v4. St. Clair coming out with some heat. Gub able to find one. Joy Boy finds JRC. And Darren finds Joy Boy with Borge cleaning it up with the 3K.
It all starts from that initial pick. The moment that we saw the lock into corner with the util coming in from the Rays onto the opposing team's Rays, it seemed like from there Lackawanna was at a bit of a disadvantage. You know, whenever the numbers disadvantage goes in one person's way on this map, it is so easy for a 5-stack to just jump on a point before the other team can recoil and recover. So right now, very, very strong play from the Saints, and they are going to be resetting, getting ready this. And this will be their buy round. We have 1 Stinger and 4 Spectres that's going to be filling out their lineup.
Yep, the anti-eco feels so good for St. Clair, who not only gets plant money, but the round win. And that means this is going to be a full save from the side of Lackawanna. Endeavor, of course, did hear someone walking, knew they were there, and said, your head is mine. Bozy said, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I will not do that again. And so
Eyesight
completely open.
I was going to say, A-Site, nobody there, no one in heaven, nobody in lamps, and it seems like Lackawanna is completely unawares of this. They're not even rotating just yet, so they're probably playing for a bit of a retake right here. And yep, you can see them on the map start to scramble a little bit. They're all heading to teleporter. So one person in Showers is going to have a big responsibility.
Well, and it's also the fact that you had to kind of take that 50-50, right? You had to take a choice of, you know, we only have pistols. We can only do so much. And because of that, in goes the molly, in goes all the util, and it is completely locking down Gub in this corner. But you did your job. As Gub, you slowed everyone inside of that Showers. They're not going to get into the site. It's going to be that chance to pick up a couple extra fags and pad that KDA. Borge goes ahead and sprays through. Endeavor and Darren follow suit. And JRC says, hey, Gub, you only got assist there. I'm sorry.
I love the poise from Gub, though. Waiting in the corner, despite all the util coming through, despite the Viper smoke, despite the little room bot that you got coming in from the Rays, as well as his own team's Rays dropping the grenades, too. And just stood there, took that damage, and said, I am not sacrificing my position for any reason here. I feel very comfortable that you're going to be coming right through this hole. And then the second he had a teammate there, they just swung that, pushed super hard. And, you know, some very good util from them, and they're going to be going on to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and this is, again, quite the standard for Valorant, right? After that anti-eco, we are seeing the bonus round come out here. And Lackawanna, they have the guns, right? They have the guns here. They have all the rifles in the world. The question is, how many kills can they get? Because the rounds have, no matter what, even from the pistol, felt fairly St. Clair favored. So right now for St. Clair, if they're able to lock down this third round, if they're able to overcome the weapon difference, it could lead to a little bit of disparity. As St. Clair would not only not have to buy up any major weapons, but they would also force Lackawanna into a rougher situation, into that econ ping pong scenario. So Endeavor saying, hey, this is an opportunity for us, and we're going to take it quite slow. No early aggression, just playing it smart.
Yeah, covering so many angles, waiting just for a pick. And I think the second the Saints find a single kill, they are going to definitely jump in and take a site. They have 2 waiting on long right now. There is a dog coming in to distract a little bit, and Borge on the flank.
Such a good flank. Gets one, is now going to look for another, but can't find it. But Brick now says, give me that chance. It is going to be a 2-for-2 trade overall. I mean, it gives so much over, I feel. The Globe is going to find Endeavor's life. So Lackawanna not shy of taking those fights. JRC, though, in position. Looks like the plant's going to come through on B, so they are going to hold down here St. Clair. Need to be aware of where these movements are going, and Lackawanna need to be aware of their corners as well. Check every angle, check every corner, because if you don't, you might get caught sleeping.
Yep, these brim smokes are proving to be a big challenge for Lackawanna right now. They're all standing in the middle of it, waiting for an opportunity to push. All right, yep, caught the wrong swing there. Gets one.
And got some damage done as well, so JRC is going to try and sprint in, is going to try and open up an opportunity for themselves, but it does not happen. Bozy is able to find it. Gub, though, off on the angle, said, hey, I can jiggle, I can wait. That is going to be the Vandal picked up, and you get one, so Bozy is the last one alive. Oh, you get the hold. You know you have to take a swing. It's 30 HP, and it's going to be a model that slowed it down. No spike defuse for you. Gub with a 3K and a clutch up.
Gubb seems to be the stalwart bastion there for the St. Clair team. Has not dropped a single life yet. Still rocking a 4-0, and that's, an infinity kill factor at this point.
And I mean, you can't even hate Lackawanna for trying, right? They did everything right, but just not as quickly as we might have liked to see, right? The fact that they waited in the smoke for so long, the fact that they gave enough time for St. Clair to actually rotate and get in position, and JRC to actually get that pick off, as well as drop Bozy down a little bit further in the HB department, shows that they're still kind of going through this motion. So right now, it does feel like Lackawanna are going to have to try and work their magic a little bit faster if they want to remain competitive. 3-0 so far as St. Clair now going to bounce onto B site. Ray's taking a little bit of a bounce and a hop. Forge says, hey, I hear another boombot rolling around. Let's go ahead and destroy that one real quick. And it's Lackawanna trying their best to enter into the site. It's another quick plant from St. Clair as they're continuously on the aggressive side. Brick coming around the corner, gets a point blank. No chance to get a second as JRC and Borge clear out the rest. It is 4 in a row sweep, as that is the cleanup that they like. St. Clair 4-0 so far here in map 1.
They cover each other so darn well, Orbital. I mean, the second they get one single pick, they jump on that point. They leap onto it. They get the plant down, and they force a lot of pressure very quickly onto this Lackawanna team. Lackawanna, they've been doing a good job of sticking together, but that actually works to their detriment because sometimes they cover one angle and then are very susceptible to flanks from the Saints team.
Not just that, I want to highlight something else, right? We do see a decent kill spread on the side of Lackawanna. They seem to be spread out fairly nicely, but the problem is, of course, the lack of kills, right? That is always the downside. The top fragger for St. Clair currently has 7. That is all the kills combined on Lackawanna's side. So, again, right now, St. Clair feeling very, very strong. Orbital Strike comes in, but Borge says, hey, Mystic, I caught you. Globe said that might have worked a little bit to slow you down and give an opportunity. So 1-for-1 so far, as again, Gubb just says, listen, you can throw down anything you want, but it does not matter. All we care about is planting, running back, and waiting for you to come to us.
Plant is down right now. Lackawanna trying to find angles and trying to find their way back in. We got 3 coming in from Showers. There is an ult coming in. Yep, it's going to get 2 for Globe.
Globe gets 2, and that is nasty. And that might have opened up the opportunity. Gubb, once again, is the solo member. Can you defuse? That molly did not work as well as you wanted. You have to dance this devil's tango. Couple shots go out. Halfway point is reaching. That's going to be the kill. Bozy says, hey, give it over to me. 1 round won by the side of Lackawanna. 1 round that is sorely needed as well.
Yeah, all it took, that round was decided by that one little whiff there from Gubb. Gubb obviously had that molly down figured out, but unfortunately just was a little shy to the right side of that spike and allowed for the defuse pressure to force him to go for a peek. And from there, Globe had it all figured out. It was all over. And excellent plays there from the Lackawanna team. Way to readjust, and they're going to be going in with a win. Got some momentum here.
Not just that, though. It did feel like a lot of ultimates were expended. Both orbital strikes were taken off the table, and it's right down just straight guns. Except, of course, for 1 Viper Spit, which could mean all the difference that they so decide. Right now, though, the Viper's all the way on B, and A looks to be the aggressive default start. Showers is going to grab 2. Or at least hold on to 2 members, and Globe said, hey, you can't peek that way. Globe turning up the heat a little bit here as St. Clair realized that they might have made a mistake.
Globe was covering Showers during that too, and then just swung, got a nice peek on main. So right now there is still 2 hanging out in Showers. Fade and Sensor and the Chamber covering each other's back. Right now they're pushing out. No smokes. Darren trying to cover those angles too, helping out.
Again, they're hiding up against the wall, but Joy Boy finds Endeavor, and JRC says, hey, give me a chance. Can't get 2, though. Down to a 2v2. Bozy saying, hey, I may have a lot of letters in my lane, but that doesn't mean that I got to type it all out. It's going to be a swing. Darren gets 1. Joy Boy able to turn it back. But guess who's walking around the corner? A perfect opportunity. The flank was gorgeous. Gubb by the book. Again, the clutch up master.
That's what I'm saying about this Lackawanna defense. They are very, very susceptible to these flanks, and every single time I've seen a flank work, it was because they were too hyper-focused in one direction. That's generally how these flanks are going to be going. So, good on St. Clair for recognizing that, they have these angles. So, the Lamps flank from Gubb is going to secure his team victory. And that is 5-1 in favor of the Saints team.
I mean, I think you hit the nail right on the head, right? This is, you know, the tunnel visioning that can come through sometimes in these games is very detrimental. You always have to have your head on a swivel. You have to understand that the angles are there. The angles are there for a reason. These maps are designed to have multiple entry points, right? And you have to be careful of that. Right now, St. Clair chasing their 6th round here in the 7th overall. They opened it up with the first blood. Endeavor here on B long was able to find one near the teleporter corner. And that means Lackawanna are actually giving over a lot of pressure. One up in Hookah. Joy Boy might go ahead and see it. Tries to get the spray down, but Borge says, nah, I got your head first. B-side completely open, and that's going to draw the rest of the team.
Yep. They're going to come over like bats out of hell. And here comes the plant from Sky. So that went down. Globe hanging out in his own smoke right now. Some of those new flashes coming in.
A little bit of a paint shell goes out too, but oh! Collateral! Oh, Bozy, he got 2 for the price of 1, and it looked good, but I mean, it just wasn't enough. Those are the only 2 kills so far on St. Clair, whereas St. Clair have fired back with 4. It looked so good. That was a highlight moment. But right now, Globe's got to do the impossible. Pistol only against 3, and you can see those line of sights lighten up Globe like a Christmas tree. With the collateral to finish off 2 members, St. Clair go, thank gosh, it was only 2.
I will say, I think that the chamber ult did its work there, and it looked flashy, but you know, you gotta have a little bit more longevity when it comes to using that thing. The longer that you stick around is a lot of pressure for the opposing team, and we see that Endeavor has one in their back pocket right now, but they're also rocking the Phantom, so they're probably going to save that until they end up dying again.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead, hang on to that one, and just, you know, not go too crazy, unless for St. Clair they do decide to kind of break out kind of that star moment here. But they're pretty happy with the aggressive pushes, and I feel that the 2 force is mostly utilized for the early detail pressure outs. But we do hear again, in comes the orbital strike to clear out one of the sides, and it gives an opportunity for Borge to pick up 2. They completely lock down this A site, and again, these spike plants always coming within 30 seconds of the round starting. St. Clair are trying to waste no time on this side.
The pressure from multiple angles as well coming in from this St. Clair offense is absolutely insane. I mean, you have that haunt coming in at a weird angle. That's definitely going to catch somebody out in the open. And on top of that, you have the orbital strike coming in, which is also forcing people to route from their entrenched positions.
Oh, that's another op that's going to be used, and Endeavor goes ahead and swings with Globe. Going to clean up house. Globe, who has sometimes looked immaculate on 9 bullets. I mean, you're going to try your best, but you can't do too much. It was a little bit of a rough scenario, and it should be 2 surviving. So right now, St. Clair carrying over 7, and I think you called it out, right? The site control and the willingness to drop such large utility for what could be a potential kill, right? That's the second time I believe we've seen Gub drop the orbital strike, not to defend against a spike retake. It's just specifically to clear out the corner. They're like, hey, we want to clear out back right, right? Go ahead, drop it. We'll flush in on the left. It's just manipulation of the site over and over again has shown that St. Clair know exactly what they need to do. They've practiced this over and over again, and they are not letting up. Right now for Lackawanna, they're the ones that do have to kind of question where they're going to be. They have 3 ultimates to their name, Showstopper, Viper Spit, as well as their own orbital strike. So they do have utility to fight back.
They do. And I did see that Endeavor, or excuse me, not Endeavor, I forget, Bozy ended up popping his own ult. There's going to be a shot through the smoke, and Endeavor's going to frag out Globe behind the scenes there.
Ooh. That paint shell was so good and actually caught Endeavor. So Mystic Nix, being the Mystic, knowing exactly where they're all going to stack up, St. Clair, and I say, hey, we're going to get revenge for our Chamber's death. You better be ready for this. In comes a little bit of a boost. Pack spray, number 1. Borge isn't able to find more than that, but Darren is there to back it up. Down to a 1v3, and I mean, Joy Boy not so happy right now. He's going to take a swing while blinded. And Darren says thank you very much. 8 rounds right now, and I believe about 4 in a row for St. Clair as they are cruising and hoping to hit that double-digit rounds.
You were talking about the util usage coming in from St. Clair, and you were like, sometimes you gotta splurge in those situations, but it's really not splurging if you're winning every round, getting that extra bit of money from earning kills as well as winning rounds. And on top of that, ults aren't hard to come by when you're getting kills either. So it's really not splurging. It's just good offense.
I love the way that's put, right? It's just like, listen, if I'm always winning, it's not really splurging because I'm going to be doing this again and again. What you talking about, right? I love that point out. And right now, Mystic Nyx is trying to splurge, though, with their own ulti. Opened up the showstopper, tried to fire it off, but Borge was able to dodge out properly. So that's another ulti down. And this Viper's Pit, right, for Lackawanna, it feels like it's been up for the last 4 rounds and counting. It feels like they've had this ultimate. They've been sitting on this Viper's ultimate for so long and haven't been able to utilize it. And that worries me because Viper's Pit is one of the largest encapsulating ultimates that can create a barrier of just nullifying the aggression that St. Clair wants, right? You go ahead, drop it. They don't want to go to that site anymore. So the fact that Lackawanna are saying we can fight without it, maybe they need to go back to the drawing board, right? Use that ultimate, try and get it off cooldown and be able to give yourself a larger opportunity. But as it stands right now, Lackawanna have done that without so, right? Got the first blood, looking to do a bit more.
I will say, though, as you called out, yeah, they do have that first blood, but it's really stifled the offensive department from St. Clair. Ordinarily, they plant within 30 seconds, but right now they're doing a good job of just taking this really slow, trying to play for picks of their own. But I will say Lackawanna's doing a good job of just not giving anything up. There's an ult coming in from JRC.
And they're going to try and catch a couple corners. The tethers are going out, so they know at least some appropriate spots behind the lamp, inside of vent, and around the back corner of a site. I mean, you know where they are. You force them away. So now it is a Lackawanna that have to figure out their own creation. It's going to be Lantern that holds at least 1 or 2 more, but Borge and JRC take 2 for the price of 1. JRC is dead. 3v3. Couple shots through the smoke as Borge is trying to boost away. The Seekers going out are going to cause some problems. And around the corner to go. Brick said, hey, you gave yourself away. And now, even with the util out, you don't get too much. A little spray to the side. And Mystic with a nasty slide. Catches them sleeping, and Gub can't readjust. Lackawanna in high noon position are now with 2 rounds and feeling a bit better about how this half could have gone.
Those aggressive pushes with the satchels are a big deal, and Mystic Nyx perfectly recognized that where they were, it was a really good time to swing against against Gub, who showed some rare signs of cracking. That was only their 2nd death this entire match. And I feel like the key to the victory for Lackawanna is getting rid of Gub. Obviously, that maintains a semblance of being consistent amongst these rounds. 2 rounds won for Lackawanna, only 2 deaths for Gub.
And I feel that's true. At the same time, you don't want Gub to be alive during clutch situations, right? Because Borge is having a frag out game. 15 so far. Ridiculous KDA. But I mean, Gub is the one that you're just like, if Gub is still alive when we're trying to go for the defuse, I don't like our odds. And that, I think, is what is such a huge point that you pointed out, right? Gub has been a rock-solid status during those post-plant defenses. So right now, it is St. Clair taking these a little bit slower. And as you said, keeping themselves properly spaced out, especially with Lackawanna dropping that Viper's Pit inside of Hookah, cutting off that mid-rotation.
And that's one of the favorite ones. That's one of the favorite ones from St. Clair, too. So it was an excellent play. Ain't no one pushing through there. It seems like a lot of the teams are converging upon long, but those smokes from Globe have been really beneficial because there is a chamber ult who is looking like they want to get some kills. And you see Endeavor posted up there. There comes the Seekers.
30 seconds.
Well,
Yep.
it's going to hold steady as Bozy goes ahead, grabs one. Borge. They got locked down here. Spike goes in, but how dangerous is this really going to be? Bozy might have found an angle, but sprayed through the smoke, giving away the position. It's going to be dangerous. Lackawanna figure out what they want to do, and now the spray. Gub finds one, Endeavor finds another. The Mystic Nyx in the middle of that gets Gub. Darren fires away, finds Globe's head. It's down to a 2v3. The poison pit is still up, but Joy Boy can't really come out. Says, I don't want to take this chance, because of that, it's a one-man swing. Darren takes out Brick, and the Viper is all alone. The Snake is taken down as Darren pieces together a 3K.
Sometimes you don't even need to walk into the Viper pit to take her out. Sometimes whenever you get that plant, she has to come out and say hi herself. So, excellent plays there from the St. Clair offense yet again. And, these slower pushes, they aren't really the St. Clair style, but the necessity of them really means that Lackawanna figured out how to play defense pretty well in these later rounds.
And right now, as we get down to the last round of the half, we got to look at reality right now because St. Clair are looking like an absolutely indomitable team here on the attacking side, right? In times we see them lose a couple of members, and at times we see them get a little bit over aggressive, but they always figure out how to rein it in when they need to, right? Hey, listen, we're getting a bit too antsy. Let's go ahead and slow things down. Hey, we pushed too far this time. Don't try that swing when you don't have the rest of the team. They make adjustments on the fly, and it makes them look so versatile. Right now, they are flushing in to this A site once again, but it is a bait. Using that teleporter, going to try and bring everyone around through mid and just past the chamber, so they get past scot-free and draw in a potential fight. In they go. Darren gonna go ahead, get Mystic Nicked. JRC comes around the corner, gets Joy Boy, and Globe falls just as quickly. Posey with that tour de force is gonna try and find something, but I mean, you're one player of two looking down the barrels of 5.
That was a really, really strong rotation there from this St. Clair offense. And yep, that's going to be an orbital strike. Will it take him out? It will, and there's the flawless coming in, courtesy of Gub on that util. But again, I got to talk about how good that rotation was. They pushed up super far, recognized they weren't being contested on A main, got into lamps, and then said, you know what? We've been here for a minute. I recognize that the rotation is probably coming in from B. Let's hop into that teleporter while they're mid-rotation, because they're going to be stuck in the back site. And then we're going to be able to converge onto the back site, get a bunch of angles covered. And, you know, they got 3 straight during the plant. And it was just really difficult for this Lackawanna team from there. But this is going to be a bit of a changing of the guard. We're going to have St. Clair on the defensive side of things now. Lackawanna is going to be dictating the tempo of the match from here on out.
And I want to highlight even more so into that fact is St. Clair, up till that last round, had yet to actually pull a rotate off, right? All of their attacks have been pretty standard, right? Hey, A side is the one that we're going to go for. And that's all they did. They were very headstrong. That rotation was what really kicked things off. Borge, though, said, hey, give me a chance and I'll get that paint shell kill. It's immediately rebutted with 2 more kills on the other side. So far here in the pistol, it is 3v3.
Oh, but here's Gub on this flank. Looking at Joy Boy, gets him 1. Oh, not able to get a second one, though. Globe knocking out Gub. It is a 2v2 again. However, this Lackawanna offense a little bit worse for wear. They don't realize, though, that A side is completely uncontested for them right now.
And that's the mind games, right? They're so scared of what could happen, what could be around that corner. Globe, though, is going to try and lock down a little bit of vision denial. Going to go ahead and rush down that 3, actually, that we see there. And they do get the plant, so this will be a spike plant for Lackawanna. They're going to happily get that one down. Will they do more so? Darren sending out a little bit of a trailblazer, peeking around the corners, no information. So clear on site, but Endeavor has to find him. Full HP. Do you get it? Where's the headshot? You get a swing. Oh, Globe is found and Globe is dead. Can you find one more up along the box? And you do, but Bozy is going to get one. Darren is able to finish it off, and it is the pistol to St. Clair.
Yeah, so during that gun round, or pistol round rather, a lot of good trades coming in from both teams. However, neither team was able to have a definitive advantage until right till the very end. So excellent plays all around, really good side out there from this St. Clair offense, or excuse me, St. Clair defense. I'm just so used to saying it at this point, man.
The attackers and defenders, offense, defense, terrorists versus counter-terrorists. I mean, so many games use so many different acronyms, but it all means the same thing. One team is pushing, and one team is, trying to push back in the most relative sense. And you can see it here, right? Interestingly enough, because of that plant, it gives Lackawanna a chance to actually buy out as well. So if they're actually going to buy up, they're going to try and lay in with these SMGs, and they understand that this is one of their best chances. And Borge, realizing that they might have bit off a bit more than they can chew inside of B short, they say, okay, not the spot we want to be in. And they are going through hookah. So eyes are open. Lackawanna, with guns out, are challenging St. Clair here from game point.
Yep, and there is that paint shell coming in. Borge gonna take up residence within hookah, has the angle pretty well covered, very entrenched. Bozy's gonna peek through right there. Yep, gonna crouch right underneath the rest of the shots from Borge.
Whoa, such a great pick, and I mean, this challenge with the weapons might be their Hail Mary that they've been hoping for. They've been able to burn a little bit more util out of St. Clair, so if they do want to push, they could find an opportunity. 3 picking up a short now. They're going to get more. Spray out. JRC realizing that they're caught out, but in goes the smoke, and they're going to have to fight this blind. 40 seconds left. Do they make it through this smoke right away? Yes, they do. They chase through, and it is going to be safe. But you got to check. You got to check.
Yep.
And you don't check. JRC picks up a free kill. Around the corner goes the blind, and JRC able to swing a second. What a beauty of a combo play. The Sky and Fade making it happen. A jump up and a peek. Realizes Lackawanna are back in the corner, but Bozy able to swing on JRC. The blind comes out again, and Darren chases. Gub able to find Brick, and it's down to 1 member alive. It looks so good, but Mystic Nix cannot do it. Darren secures the 12th round for St. Clair College.
Especially towards the later end of this match, Orbital, Darren has been really, really good. I mean, look at that. 17-4 with 11 assists, and most of those were actually just favorable trades. Picking up stuff off of their own blinds, picking up stuff off of some of their own teammates' demise, getting 1 or 2 at a time. I mean, it's been really, really useful for the St. Clair team, especially on defense as well. And they stood tall both times to win rounds.
I mean, at this point, it was a Hail Mary, so they're doing it once again. Lackawanna buying up the SMGs, Stingers, and Spectres. I mean, you're hoping for a miracle here. Light armor is all you have, and I mean, the util that you bought up as well is not going to be as strong, right? Globe working with 2 out of 3. So, I mean, this is going to be that scary, scary chance. Endeavor.
Oh, gotta cover that angle.
Oh,
Endeavor's waiting.
Gotcha.
Okay, they
And
did get.
missed
All
it.
right.
Yeah, we're good. We knew what was coming. We were like, please check the corner, and they did. They did.
It's like
what
when
they
you're
needed
watching
to
Jaws, man. You're just like, oh my god, is the shark gonna get him, you know? But not that time. They had a bigger boat.
do. They had a bigger boat, and then Darren said, no. I'm bringing in the freighter. Let me take 2. Let me take 3. 3K and then some. Darren, chase for the ace. Forge doesn't let it happen, but you did enough. A 3K plus some change means it's a 13-2 game. Covering over for St. Clair as they move to 1-0 on the set score.
The precision there from St. Clair. It was absolutely methodical, only dropping 2 individual rounds there. Excellent plays from them on both sides of the spike, on offense and on defense. But I will say, I feel like, you know, Lackawanna, they did a good job of matching tempo in those 2 rounds that they won. The second they figured out, okay, we got to pick here. We're going to play this at our pace. They did just fine. But whenever St. Clair had tempo, it was anything but a cakewalk.
Yeah, this is... I wanted to see teams be able to come out with some fire. And I knew, you know, no matter what, in a game or in a series, there has to be some winners and some losers, right? And right now, St. Clair's are saying, we are going to be that. We want to show off that we know what we're doing. We want to be that big dog at the top that you have to watch out for. They're making a great claim for it right now, but we'll see in game number 2 if they can continue to do this on a much more open map. A breeze. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. As Gov, you slowed everyone inside of that showers. They're not going to get into the site. It's going to be that chance to pick up a couple extra fags and pad that KDA. Forge goes ahead and sprays through. Endeavor and Darren follow suit. And JRC says, hey, Gov, though, off on the angle, said, hey, I can jiggle, I can wait. That is going to be the Vandal picked up. And you get 1. Bozy is the last one alive. Oh, you get the hold. You know you have to take a swing. It's 30 HP, and it's going to be a model that slowed it down. No spike defuse. They're continuously on the aggressive side. Brick coming around the corner. Gets a point blank. No chance to get a second as JRC and Borge clear. And hey, I may have a lot of letters in my lane, but that doesn't mean that I got to type it all out. It's going to be a swing. Darren gets 1. Joyboy able to turn it back. But guess who's walking around the corner? A perfect opportunity.
Some of those new flashes coming in.
A little bit of a fake shell goes out too, but the collateral! Ready for this. In comes a little bit of a boost attack. Spray number 1. Borge isn't able to find more than that, but Darren is there to back it up. Down to a 1v3, and I mean, Joyboy not so happy right now. He's going to take a swing. Wild he is dead. 3v3. Couple shots through the smoke as Borge is trying to boost away. The Seekers going out are going to cause some problems. And around the corner to go. Brick said, hey, you gave yourself away. And now, even with the util out, you don't get too much. A little spray to the side. And Mystic with a nasty slide to actually pull a rotate off, right? All of their attacks have been pretty standard, right? Hey, A side is the one that we're going to go for right away. Yes, they do. They chase through. And it is going to be safe. But you gotta check. You gotta check. And you don't check. JRC picks up a free kill. Around the corner goes the blind. And JRC able to swing a second. What a beauty.
Get him, you know, but not that time. They had a bigger boat.
They had a bigger boat, and then Darren said, no, I'm bringing in the freighter. Let me take 2. Let me take 3. 3K and then some. Darren, chase for the ace. Forge doesn't let it happen.
First, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hi, so my name is Caitlin. I'm a part of Farmingdale State College's esports club. I am captain of the Valorant Green team. I am a second semester sophomore at Farmingdale State College, and I'm 19 years old.
Okay, do you like Farmingdale so far?
Yeah, it's really great. The program I'm in is very specialized, and it's not offered that often in the East Coast, so it's pretty nice. I enjoy it.
And what's your major?
My major is aerospace professional pilot degree.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
Thank you.
So, is this your first time on an esports team?
No, so I've been a part of the Valorant team for 2 semesters, and this is my third semester, and it's my first time ever being a captain.
Okay, oh, that's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like being a captain?
So a lot of times I'm organizing the team, making sure everyone is properly set for upcoming games, um, getting scrims for our team, and kind of just making sure everyone is there, present, and possible, and able to play the games that we're gonna, you know, be participating in. We're participating in 2 leagues this semester, so it's kind of hectic.
Oh, gosh, yeah, definitely. I can see that. How is it different for you as a player versus as a captain? Do you feel a lot of responsibility?
I basically have the responsibility of choosing who, really plays, what type of characters everyone's playing, and what positions and roles we are all doing, as well as being there not only as a team member, but also being seen as in a leadership role and having that sort of respect there, and being able to delegate everyone's role in the team. So it's definitely a lot more different, and my voice is most definitely heard. So I like it. I like being a captain.
Yeah, that's really good. What games do you play, or what is your main game? I know you mentioned Valorant.
Right. So I play Valorant, but I started off with Counter Strike, and I really always have been interested in FPSs. So that background has always been there. So my transfer onto Valorant was pretty easy.
That's cool. What have you done to improve yourself in game over time?
So one thing, for my teams especially, I have open communication where we're able to really give our constructive criticism without taking offense. And me as a captain, especially it being my first semester, I find it really important that everyone is able to come to me and communicate like, "Hey, Kate, I don't know how I feel about doing this," or "I want my voice to be heard about this specific thing." And just basically taking into consideration everyone's voice and having that open line of communication is really helpful, and that's something I find really important.
Okay. Do you carry that strategy into your everyday life as well, would you say?
Yeah, communication is really important to me, especially in aviation with crew members. You're always trying to communicate properly and efficiently to get the assigned goal completed, and that works in video games as well as in aviation. So I feel like it transfers very well, and I put my 100% effort in everything.
And we are back ready to go for game number 2 as St. Clair are looking quite dominant right now. From the get-go have seemed so strong in their micro mechanics, in their aim, in their trigger control, in their aim, recoil control, and then in the macro, there's almost nothing that they cannot do. So Lackawanna right now on Breeze are going to have to try and step it up and give us a good show.
A match where aim is going to be a lot more important because Breeze is a big map. You're going to be expecting a lot of hopping, especially if there's going to be some mid pushing, and it's really, really easy to catch yourself out in the open on this map. And for Lackawanna, covering those angles is going to be much more difficult because there's so much space to cover. So hanging out behind walls is going to be your best friend on a map like this one.
I also think it leans into a little bit of an issue that we saw Lackawanna actually have as well, right? You had pointed it out about, I want to say midway through the game, and I think it was very, very important, right? They had a lot of these opportunities laid out to them, and they knew what was coming, but they tend to tunnel vision a little bit. They tended to focus a little bit too hard on certain angles and weren't really keeping their head on a swivel. So hopefully we get to see some of these agents that are coming out bring a bit more opportunity, right? Bringing their POV to a little bit larger extent and that might help them out. Of course, we do love to see that Sova coming out here. I am a huge fan of Sova. I love the long range opening, but I do see one that is causing a bit of a stir here. The neon for me is what I'm seeing, and then, of course, seeing on the very bottom, it is going to be that Breach coming out. I mean, Joy Boy rocking it, but you just said that Breach is not really that great on this map, right?
This is Breach's worst map without question, but maybe Joy Boys figures out something that I haven't yet, and I'm very interested to see what that is. And we're going to have the opportunity to do so in just a minute. I see Bozy still sticking with that chamber as well as Endeavor. Borge going off the Raze into the Jet. Gup gonna be on the. They haven't locked in yet, but it looks like they're gonna be opting for the Viper as opposed to the Brimstone. And I think Brimstone's actually not too horrible on this map. A lot of people say if you pick Viper, you're throwing as well as the Breach. So maybe we'll even things out a little bit here.
Oh my gosh.
It's Gub. It's Gub. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
It's Gub.
Yeah, this is, again, Gub, the clutch master, is the best way to put it, right? Multiple rounds, we did see St. Clair get a little bit over eager and ended up putting themselves into rust and arrows, and Gub is the main reason why they went 3-0 at the beginning, right? Stalling out that bonus round, able to clutch it up with those, with a couple of those mollies at the beginning. So now with the Viper, also a possibility, and a lot more, I want to say, tactical positioning, right? The lineups here on Breeze, very, very open, very, very relentless in where you can fire those snake fangs and all that stuff. So I'm very excited to see what they can break out here. I'm also very excited to see Neon, of all things, in comparison to the Viper. We are not going to see anything. I don't think the teams are going to be able to see halfway across the map.
Yeah. You know what? Putting as much, stuff to hide behind on a map like this as you can, really not a horrible idea. I can definitely see the Neon pick working out here in a big way, because you can really only see Neon if you're directly ahead of them. And that is exactly where you do not want to be if there's a Neon running at you.
Not just that, I also realized we have an Astra coming out as well. So it's not
I was waiting for you to talk about it.
Yeah, because we got the Cosmic Divide coming out here. We got, like, all the walls. It's going to be cut into a pie. We're going to see A-Site just sliced into 6, and everyone's going to take a corner and, like, good luck, Rumble Royale, right? It's going to be hilarious, and I hope we get one of those moments. But right now, we do have the suppression to kick things off, and as we talked about, Lackawanna going to be on that attacking side first, and they have opted to actually go B, so quite surprising here, saying, hey, B is going to be our option. B is going to give us the most optimal formation, using a little bit of that runway. Globe is going to walk their way up, try and get the plant down. Mystic is able to find Forge off that pistol round, and is going to look for just a few more. Right now, it's a little bit of a dance, and Song JRC, though, finds Joy Boy, and the hunt is on. This Viper's wall is up, but it's only going to do so much. Plant is down. This is St. Clair for a bit more. JRC just walks through, bold as everything, and Gub follows up as well. No chance for Bovie to be able to help out. It's going to be the pistol to St. Clair.
Really bold peek there from Gub, because Gub was at one-shot range, and legitimately if Mystic just hit him a single time anywhere on the body, even the legs, that was a dead Gub, and it would have been a little bit easier for you to defend that site. However, Gub will not be denied, and that is going to be St. Clair going up 1. And I was talking about all the line of sights you got to cover on this map. We see initially 3 Marshals get locked in, but now they're going to be opting for 2 and 3 Spectres.
Yeah, just you know what? Do what you can, and have a little bit of a blast. So, you know what? We'll see how it plays out. But right now, I mean, this is St. Clair. I don't doubt that the Marshals are going to do enough damage. We saw what a no scope could have done, which was amazing. I loved it.
Right.
But that was on the side of Lackawanna, right? I want to see what these other squads can do. What St. Clair can do around the corner, and Endeavor said, give me that chance. A couple more snaps. Good body shots. Looking for one more. Gets 2 other bodies. No drops, though. As you can see, the Neon and the Breach absolutely insane.
Yep, they are bleeding right now. Oh, and yep, there is the util coming in. Gonna kill 2 is Gub. And now going around back is Mystic, looking for a frag. Not gonna get it. Borge with a nice little shot there. And yep, going around the backside as well. Only losing Endeavor, and St. Clair are going to keep a lot of their guns and their money, but Endeavor's going to have to probably buy again. But hey, no skin off his nose. He is currently chilling at 4,000.
Yeah, that is, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Okay. You bought up a little bit. You brought your util back, but again, this is as we did expect, right? St. Clair, the team that is coming out, they're on fire, they're rolling through a lot of these fights, and it feels good, right, for this squad. And you're locking down a composition that is also fairly aggressive, right? With the Neon, with the Sova, with this Breach, they are pressing forward in their own right, and they're doing it again, right? There is no stopping Lackawanna from trying to push the tempo just as fast as St. Clair did in game number 1, and it works this time. Mystic able to find Gub, who is hopping around the backside of A going, I don't know what's going on. First one goes down, Globa's gonna get the plant, and now they have to defend. Darren able to snipe away. Joy Boy is gonna be hoping for a bit more, but Darren with the weapon in hand is going to lose their life. Globe and Mystic Nyx are gonna grab one apiece, and it's down to a 4v2.
Not a good start on this bonus round, but Borge is starting to claw this one back a little bit with some really good usage of the Jet Util. As well as Marshall picks up a Spectre, still not going to be enough, and it is merely one man standing. JRC on site has to deal with 3 of his competitors with a planted spike, and yep, not going to do it. Mosey going to pick that one up to secure the win for Lackawanna, and this is a much earlier first win than they got during the bind set.
If I'm recalling, it was 4 rounds in a row before Lackawanna were able to steal one back. So getting one in the 3rd feels very, very good. And this is much more the, I want to say standard, right, that we see. Again, the first 3 rounds are almost always predetermined just because of how the econ tends to balance out. Round 4 is where I say Valorant really kicks off, right? We see the weapons in hand for everyone. We see everyone kind of going off on their own, and we get to see these teams actually give us a great show. And right now, Borge, once again, this op is going to give it airbed shot, but being blinded and being locked out means that they have to chase away.
Oh my god, they survived the wall of pain there. There were Neon stuns, there was a Breach stun, they just dashed right back, and they only have an op. So if you get up right in their face, it's going to be really difficult for you, but the blind's going to come off this pyramid in just a moment. Right now, St. Clair looking for an opportunity to get in, and yep, Endeavor's going to pick that one up. Blinded as Borge, right in the nick of time to survive the off.
The fact that that wasn't to the body is crazy to me, and right now, St. Clair are going to go ahead and look for the defuse, but in goes a little bit of a sonar dart, really, really smartly done, but Borge gets a blind shot through the wall, and that leads an opportunity for the rest of the team to clean up. That is, of course, the round. That leads it to St. Clair to move to 3-1, even though the bonus did go the way of Lackawanna. It feels like St. Clair are starting to get a read on the aggressive pushes. Lackawanna, they're getting red, right? These crazy fast pushes, you get the plant, yes, but the post-plant defense, maybe not as strong as they were hoping.
Something I kind of want to talk about is like right at the end of the round, Borge just had a pile of bodies to loot. Like they came into the round with an op, and then there was a Phantom there courtesy of Mystic, and then there was also a Vandal there courtesy of Joy Boy. So at any given moment, they could just switch between the 3 best weapons in the game.
Always having the opportunities available to you, but right now, Gub throwing down that Viper's Pit. This is the, I want to say, standard lockout on Breeze. You go ahead and just throw down that Viper's Pit. You hold him steady, and oh, Borge trying to hold it down on A. That's the 2nd time you actually miss an opening off shot that could give the team a lot of opportunity. Mystic Nyx throwing out that Bolt here is going to try and chase forward with the ulti and look for a kill, but it's getting completely honed out, and you are able to zone him down. Now Mystic Nyx is going to get a kill and reset. Endeavor doesn't find Joy Boy, and Endeavor falls to the Headhunter, but JRC says, give me a little bit of fun here. JRC getting a bit more on top. It is down to a 1v2, though, as Globe and Friend are going to try and win it out. JRC with 6 HP. It's not a score that you like to see on your health bar.
Yep, finally gonna get that plant down. Brick has the recon drone out. Globe's gonna get the plant. JRC gets 1 hit, and that is a thrifty kill, courtesy of Globe with the classic.
So well done, and again, that Neon ulti giving space. Mystic Nyx, this is what feels like the map for a Neon to play on, right? So much freedom with the wall and very fast movements here. St. Clair maybe not a little bit aware of it. Now again, still very much in the lead, still feeling very, very strong here. And I don't think they're going to give up, obviously, just yet. There's no reason to. Yes, they're bumped into the econ, but yeah, the Blade Storm, right? Keep eyes on that Blade Storm on a board if it is opened up. And it is. They're going to try and use it as kind of the balancing act for their team.
Yep, Mystic gonna try to come through. Is suppressed for a little bit. Gonna get rid of Borge. Mystic trying to work around right now, too. There is a box there. Yep, doesn't even need it there. Ozzy's gonna get a pick on Darren. Globe gonna take one on Endeavor. JRC gonna hit Joy Boy through the wall.
I'm out of here. Shocking.
And
Mystic
looking-
just patrolling
man.
center.
Mystic actually found someone who was like, I want to chase.
Last
I
player
don't care what
standing.
happens. I want to chase. Gets the kill. And this is what we expected, right? In a save round, I mean, St. Clair don't really have any opportunity to do anything. What you're looking for is just 1 or 2 extra kills. Got one and another. Nope, you're spotted. 7 HP. How are you not dead? Yep, I don't understand. There it is.
Well, not gonna be alive for very long there. Or, you know,
Yeah. That was the finish. That was the finish that you're hoping for. You carry 4 over, and this is one of the more convincing rounds that Lackawanna has really had. But I want to be even more convinced now. Going into this tied 3-3 setup,
Go, go, go.
St. Clair are going to buy up full armor, full weapons, and everything. Let's see what Lackawanna can do. Let's see if they can show us that they deserve to fight for this map as well.
keep an eye on that ult economy from Lackawanna as well. They currently have 3 ults compared to the 2 coming in from SCC. And there is the wall that's going to get put up, the divide. Then you have the reach ult as well as the chamber ult. So if you want to go for that big time op, probably not going to be seeing it just yet because we do see an op on hand for Bozy. But keep that in mind. It's going to be something we might see later.
Ooh. I mean, we're talking about ults right here. Well, Endeavor said, I got one too. I know how to use it. Is able to lock out a single member. Now hoping for a bit more. Saying, Borge, this is how you snipe, by the way. Take notes. Globe walking through the mid and the rest of the team hiding out along this B-side wing. Seems like that first kill really did the doozy on him. So Lackawanna saying we're going to try and split up. We're going to try and look for a different angle. We're going to be happy about it as well. How long will they take to get on the site, though, is the big question.
Yeah, they are a bit rattled, so they're going to be taking this a little bit slow, and they are at a numbers disadvantage. They do have 3 ults that they could pop at the moment, but I think they're a little bit scared of the potential of running into that chamber. Now, there is going to be some Viper util making this push into B main a little bit more difficult.
30 seconds left.
Even with it being difficult, 30 seconds is called out, so they go ahead and chase 2 split along that mid doors, and the others are going to split through the south. They say we are going to make it work. Mystic Nix finds one. Gub able to find another. But Globe evens it out. And Endeavor says, gimme those 2 to 4 kills. That's 3. Darren able to pick up on the back end. And it's a round win. Off of the 2 to 4s, you go ahead and close out that 4th round for yourself and say for all the work that you did, you still come out at a loss. Lackawanna did so well. And yet a single ulti turned the tides.
1 burst kill is all it takes to activate Darren. The second Darren smells blood, I was using a Jaws metaphor a little bit earlier, but again, for Darren, it just kind of works. They had a bit of a quiet round this time, but I will say that they are so good at closing out games, especially when they have a teammate to work with.
They really do, and that's something that I feel is sometimes quite hard to really showcase when it comes to FPS games, right? In Overwatch, I feel like it's quite easy because everything's synergized together, right? It's the wombo combos and everything, but in round-based FPS, it's much harder. So to be able to clearly identify that, hey, these 2 people are working as a tandem team and they can really show it off, I think brings immense understanding and respect from a lot of the players out there. That's really, really fun to see. Right now, we are seeing St. Clair also look for a little bit of an opening, was able to pick up first blood, traded out a bit of extra damage on their side, but with Globe already on the side, is going to lay down the play. No, they tried. Oh my lord, they tried. Brick was able to find Darren's life, but Gub immediately answered back and said, no plant for you here today. Brick on their own, though, is going to get the swing. The transfer is too real,
but
and
not the
Endeavor
third.
shuts it down. You know what, Brick, we see you, we respect you, and you can die with honor there.
Man, just really good position to be held, but back to the drawing board for Lackawanna. They popped all their ults there except for Globe Celestial Divide. So, they used the Breach ult, didn't catch anyone in it. And also, I don't think they got a single hit, did Brick on the Sova ults. But still, a lot more of a competitive game 2 than we have seen from game 1. That bind was a little bit one-sided, and this one's been a whole fight so far.
It's been heavily back and forth, just these teams not really wanting to give up anything, and I think you are correct, right? We're seeing a much different Lackawanna come out here. They're not lacking anything here. They are just playing their aggressive style and saying, if we want to win, We have to play up, and it's off the back of Mystic Nyx. This Neon is feeling so empowered to chase, to go for those 1v1s, and it's leading to results. The 50-50 of the First Blood is giving them a moment's opportunity.
Here comes that Celestial Divide. It's going to come in, make these flanks a little bit more difficult to attain. A nice molly to actually block off the trail. Some people caught behind the wall right now. St. Clair doesn't want to push this just yet.
Oh, they really don't, but JRC was able to find one off the far end and being able to open up that chance, but they fall as well. Bozy finds two huge frags. And St. Clair now stuck into this pit. They're saying, hey, what can we actually do? Where are we going to find those kills? Brick getting lit up around the corner. And Bozy swings for a third. Darren is able to find Brick's life, but you're down to 27 HP. You got to try this, right? You don't really have too much, or you just try and save and say, let me get some of those frags.
There's one.
You'll find one more. You're going to get it. You're going to go for that defuse, but I mean, there isn't much you can do here, right? The stun goes out. Darren just hoping for that chance. You're going to run as fast as you can. You're not going to outrun.
Oh.
Like, it is dead. And Lackawanna are at 4 rounds, keeping pace with St. Clair.
That is a net loss. Joy Boy still without a kill, but with 5 assists, definitely making their presence known, especially on that slam there to make it a little bit more difficult for Darren to run. If Darren didn't get hit by that, there's a good chance they got out of there and were able to maintain their util, but instead they're going to have to buy, and they're going to be rocking light shields going into this one.
Ooh. Saying that you want to use a light shields, well, at least only one, right? There's only really one there, so it's somewhat negligible. Right now, though, St. Clair saying, hey, let's go ahead and throw down that Viper's Spit. It usually is on B, but this time it's almost a full stack on the B side. You can see what St. Clair were hoping to do. And with that call and with the shots going up, they're going to rotate 2 members over. Split, though. Eyes on that mini-map. Lackawanna saying, we want to try this, but it's a duel. Darren able to find Joy Boy, but guess who's still alive? Mystic Nyx with that ulti is going to fall. That's a huge grab from before. That might be enough. Gub finding one of their own. And that poison is still up. What a turnabout for St. Clair.
Yeah, we saw Joy Boy and Mystic try to run up the middle. Instead, they just peeked right back into that A side, despite the fact that they knew it was walled up. They had a good opportunity to possibly take B by surprise and go for a bit of a switch push. But instead, they're going to fall right into the trap that was laid by St. Clair. St. Clair right now just holding their angles. It is a 4v3. And the 3 are trying to go mid at the moment.
You only got one op shot, and you don't even get that. Brick is going to lay out that operator and say, not a chance. We're going to give ourselves that chance to move in. And Borge, we know what Borge can do. Gets the dash prepped. Is going to look to swing and try and make a moment to happen. Starts to look the plant and finds a Sleepy Globe. What a tag right there. JRC is also going to find Bozy. So it's down to 1 player alive with only 13 seconds left to plant. I mean, Brick. You're kind of stuck. I'm sorry, buddy. You don't have too much. And Gub said you don't even get the satisfaction of living the round.
Now, Gub absolutely put a stopper to that A push. It looked like a full stack and then possibly a split coming in mid, but that Viper's Pit really made it difficult for any of Lackawanna to push up there. So it will be a 6-4 lead in favor of St. Clair. But, right now, again, still a much more competitive game than Bind was.
Oh, man. Ooh, this is getting spicy again. St. Clair feeling okay, kind of leading themselves to that halfway point that they're very happy about. The most that we can see is 2 more rounds, and especially with the save round coming out from Lackawanna, you're going to try and do your best, but Endeavor losing out to the Sheriff. That one's going to hurt a little bit more than they would probably care to realize. Bozy walking around with that headhunter saying, hey, give me a chance. Just give me a single chance. Come on, give me a chance to knock someone down.
But keep in mind, there's no armor. If he actually goes to heaven, he will be finding a little bit of a prize with there waiting for him. That operator that was left by St. Clair. However, though, he has Darren who's covering him. And, yep, going to walk right into that one. Had no armor to his name. Does not get the single headhunter shot. However, Darren's going to be working their way around, covering center with all of their util that they could possibly muster. Going to walk in right past the incendiary.
Oh. Globe trying to keep things in their own pace, and Borge is able to find Brick. Down goes the plant, and Joy Boy with a great headshot. Globe to find one more, and it's down to 1v2. Are they going to win this 50? They've done it once before. JRC, gonna have to work your magic. Working a little bit slow, but took a shot. Now gonna be blinded. Able to spray down on one. Joy Boy is gonna fall. JRC, can you land a shot? You got the Vandal in hand. Globe waiting around the corner. And you are spotted.
Yep.
Globe with a 4K with a thrifty round victory. Will move Lackawanna to 5.
Before the switch.
The absolute poise from Globe has been completely holding down this team. You know, say what you will about the kill count right now. Mystic is a little bit ahead, but still, the use of this util, the patience, you know, the tempo control that Astro can bring to the table has been very useful and a very understated factor in this Lackawanna offense.
I am absolutely enjoying what I'm seeing here from the side of Lackawanna. They've shown so much strength, and I mean, even getting to this point, we saw what map number 1 did. They look so much better. They feel so much more at home, and I mean, what can we do here? Borge is able to get one, but look at this flank again. They catch him sleeping. Mystic Nix and Joy Boy get some joy out of those kills. Brick laying down the Hunter series, just calling out for an extra fight, and it's a 3v4. This is St. Clair wondering what the heck just happened.
Joy Boy's gotten 2 kills in the last 2 rounds, which is more than they've had the rest of the game put together. And, you know, those kills, again, they're not understated. Whenever you get a kill from Joy Boy, it comes at the best possible moment. And that frag right at the moment to start this round is giving them a lot of momentum going forward. Darren trying to get some KO suppresses. Endeavor and Globe are going to trade. That's a huge pickup from Darren.
Yes, it is. If you can get this out, it will be great. But look at that. The Colat plus a little bit of util spray. Bozy picks off a 3K at the very end. And now we get a swap sides. It is now St. Clair's turn to be on the aggressive side. And, I mean, listen, I know Lackawanna did fantastic work in that first half. They were able to move it to a ground 0, right? We are now back to square 1. But we know what St. Clair does when they get to choose where the fights happen.
Exactly. You know, their hard pushes are really, really palpable at any given moment. However, Lackawanna feels a lot more comfortable on this Breeze map, you know, and I kind of disrespected Breeze a little bit, but hey, a volatile pick like this can definitely turn the tides in favor of one team or another if they're comfortable playing here. And it definitely seems like Lackawanna likes the stage quite a lot.
I do like how you also pointed out about Breach, and unfortunately the Breach is currently sitting at 2 and 10, so definitely within that realm of...
I don't want to say I called it.
Yeah.
I do want to say I jinxed it.
Yeah, well, it's also a question because we want to see them be able to step up, right? On the defensive side, you are going to need a little bit of that util to help out because right now, it is Lackawanna that came out with the main advantage. 3v5 right now. Great crossfire pickups with those pistols, but now they got to chase in, right? Couple shots go out. Brick is going to lay into that door. That's a huge flood of teammates. 1, 2, 2, and they are moving like an experienced cleanup crew. Gub, last one alive, is going to fall, and Lackawanna clean up that pistol with 4 still alive.
You know, Nyx is really good on those initial pushes. Obviously, having a Neon on a map like this is really good for dictating the tempo and also cutting off sight lines from their opponents. However, on cleanup, whenever it's a 4v1, the amount of pressure that Neon can apply to you in that cleanup department is so devastating for any team. And for the first time this entire set, Lackawanna is going to go up to a 1-round lead.
Ooh, this is going to be very, very interesting, right? Because again, if we see this happen, this is a chance for other teams out there to also say, hey, Breeze, we really have to get into rotation, right? This is a much larger implication than some people might think, and maybe I'm overthinking it, but the idea, right, that, hey, there is an obvious weak map that this team does not practice, that we can, you know, if we get mildly experienced at it, you can abuse a little bit, right? You force an opponent to play on this map, and you're like, dang, well, we actually get to work on it. So there are things to think about that can give away a lot of information to opponents that this might not be the best. So I want to see St. Clair show off that they can still fight for every round. And again, this is early on in the second half. This is kind of the standard, but Borge able to pick up a Spectre of their own. And it's down to a 3v3. So just as Lackawanna have been throwing around those 30 rounds, it might be St. Clair's turn to do the same.
Oh, JRC right around the corner has a Spectre of their own as well. Globe's gonna go up now. On top, yep, nice play with the team, okay. There is just Gub, who is an absolute stalwart, and there is also Borge, who has been an offensive weapon for the St. Clair team. They're vulnerable right now, but no one's gonna peek around this corner. It's gonna be a bit of a defuse from Globe. Excellent trade. Are they just gonna stick it? Yeah, they are.
Oh.
No, but they're not gonna do it. And the thrifty win comes in for St. Clair just in the nick of time. There was probably some kind of fraction of a second on that defuse.
You gotta give props, right? Pros don't fake is the term used over and over again. And I mean, that was it, right? That was a chance, and you give a huge amount of props. You know, you had to go for it, right? Didn't really have a choice, had to go for it, tried to almost reach out, and I mean, if St. Clair peaked just half a second late, as you called it, it would have been over. So far, though, grabbing back that second round lands Lackawanna into a little bit of a rough spot, right? We see a couple frenzies, we see a single stinger that is going to come out as their only main firepower. It's not much, it's not a whole lot, but you're going to pray that it's going to be enough to battle what St. Clair are going to be laying down. In goes the Owljone. Just trying to spot out a bit of information. And Brick also launching multiple rounds of shock bolts in. But Endeavor says, I mean, Bozy, you can't do too much. Gub, of course, laying down that very quick plant as Brick finds Endeavor's life. And now a Vandal or a Phantom into the hands of LC.
With a really clean skin. However, very early for this Viper's Pit to be coming in. Nick's going to try to stick their way through it. However, decay has set in. They do have a lot of damage on them. He's going to recover that in a little bit. Globe and Nick's Joy Boy trying to push through as well. Brick gets one. Darren, though, like I said, in the right moments, Darren can get these kills that really matter. And it's going to be him, Borge, and JRC to stick that one out after the plant. And that's what I'm saying. These fast pushes from St. Clair have been incredibly strong on Bind. It seems like they're going to remain as strong on Breeze.
Yeah. I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope they can keep this up. We get the guns coming out, though. Big guns coming to play, and JRC is like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Give me that chance, and I'll take it away. But you also love to see the fact that that St. Clair are currently rocking with some nasty wallets as well, right? 3 to 4K between a majority share of them. I mean, they're looking ready for this, right? They are looking so ready. It's going to be on the side of Lackawanna to see if they can make a big opportunity happen and a big opening for themselves to take the lead once again. They've taken lead once here in this game. And that's all that they are hoping to do once again. Endeavor looking, throws down a rendezvous, says, okay, I have a save point to go to. When do I want to use it?
Oh,
Swinging
yep.
out and around, and Darren able to help out Endeavor, opening up an opportunity, and Darren is able to grab another. Mystic Nix, though, finds Endeavor, who missed the first shots, and that's going to call out this A site. Bozy, what can you do?
Oh, and I think they were trying to catch the rotation over to B. However, no one on A moved, so there is going to be Bozy. Gets a flank, gets one, not able to hit Gub. And the defensive stalwart that is Gub is going to remain undeterred, gets that plant for his team finally, and it is just Mystic Nix with a 1v3 situation to contest.
Oh, and that one hurts, right? That is the first time that we've seen kind of like an outright mistake on the defensive side, right? Just a hard spray missing every shot, and it makes it feel kind of bad, especially in this high pressure situation. That could have been the make or break deal, and I mean, you coming around the corner, Mystic Nix gonna get absolutely annihilated as Darren takes away a 4K of their own. 9-7 is the current round score, and St. Clair have nullified the amount of econ that Lackawanna were hoping to have. We can see a little bit of a budget buy coming out for multiple members, couple specters, couple armors, and I mean, they're even saying it, right? We don't have enough to fully buy up. Let's play it a little bit safe.
Yep, you gotta play the long game right now, which is so difficult to do against St. Clair. The thing about St. Clair is that whenever they have tempo, it is so hard to take this horse out of the track. But they keep running, keep making it very difficult. There is a 3-stack on B site, which looks like that's where it's gonna go. Multiple bits of util gonna actually slow the pace here a little bit.
Yeah, definitely gonna slow down. I mean, the no command is one of my personal favorites because listen, I come from CS:GO. I just like shoot things and you win. Not all these abilities are coming out here. So I like the no commit. I like locking that one down, and we are seeing it come into play in full force. Look at that, just an angle on the side. Darren, I mean, you saw the arm and you took the swing. Beauty of a shot. Globe, though, what? Hold
Another
on,
one.
what?
I mean, sometimes you find the head, and they're going to grab a Phantom. Are they going to try to play for picks here, or are they going to try to push? They're going to be blinded for a second, so pushing might not be an amazing idea. They get another pick.
Oh,
Hang on, there's the recon, okay. Seems like both teams from St. Clair fading back a little bit. Peek's right. Nope, not going to be able to get Borge, but despite the fact that Globe went down, they were able to take quite a lot of that St. Clair team down with them, which is going to make it a little bit easier in the econ department for the rest of his team.
Laird, have you ever
Yeah.
heard of the Harlem Globetrotters?
Yes, I have heard of the Harlem Globetrotters. Where are you going with
I mean,
this?
the trick shots that were coming out of Globe right there were a little bit insane. That was a very scary round. I understand they lost. I get it. But it was terrifying. Headshot after headshot after headshot. We are seeing this Lackawanna squad have moments of brilliance, right? That if they can tether into a standardized, kind of the, make it the norm for them to be able to pull it off, they could be a team to fear, and it's something that I am very much excited to potentially see. Right now, Bozy getting forced out of that corner, and I mean, they were hoping to see it. But, of course, St. Clair get the plane down. All 5 are up, and it'll be 5v5 on the retake.
Yep, Boris really trying to bait out the shots coming in from the chamber ult. However, Bozy remaining undeterred. Okay, there's the ult from Mystic. Mystic gonna get one, gonna get
Ooh.
two. Goes through the smoke, looking for more, not gonna get it. There is the wall. That's gonna be a little bit of a throw. However, it is only Mystic against 3 competitors from the St. Clair team, and they are all aiming at that wall. They know exactly where Mystic wants to come from. And Mystic now gonna retreat back into caves, gonna slow up a little bit. But there is not a lot of time left on that wall or the bomb. Gonna get one pick, and they're gonna fade away. Dust in the wind, baby. 11-7 in favor of St. Clair.
Oh, that was cheeky. And again, Mystic Nyx has honestly hit that radar of a very aggressive duelist that we really like to watch, right? And again, this is week number 1. I'm loving the fact that after a game 1 like they just had, Lackawanna are showing a phenomenal set of skills here. Their duelists are coming up online. Their util is being used effectively, and you can see it here, right, in the kill score. Of the top 4, it's a kill spread of 5. That is the only difference that they have. Joy Boy, yes, we give you a pass. We said it was going to be hard to play Breach, and I mean, you at
But
least
you did
got
it
5,
anyway.
right?
I have so much respect for you.
Yeah, it's like, listen, if you're going to go down the rocky path, you might hurt yourself. Listen, it's a risk I'm willing to take, and you did it. Respect, sir. Whether you make it to the bottom of the mountain in one piece or not, that's a whole separate story. We're on to what could be a 12th round win. But right now, Lackawanna, with weapons in hand, are going to try and make that not happen for St. Clair.
Yes, and I will say at the start of that last round, I was so excited to see what Bozy was going to be able to do on top of that right pyramid. However, that was not able to come to fruition. A lot of these flashes onto Bozy have been super pivotal, but speaking of being pivotal, the offensive push coming in from the defensive Mystic Nyx.
Yeah, they're willing to push up. They know they grabbed 2 off that rip, and they can do so much more. A couple pulses go out. JRC is stunned up, and I don't know if they actually got much more information than that. And now a little bit of a recon in the back as well. JRC saying, hey, I think someone's right around this corner. And Bozy said, yeah, I am. Globe able to find JRC. And now the pinch from Darren is able to grab 1 or 2. But my gosh, 4 left alive as the Lackawanna say, bring it on once again. 8 rounds to their name.
That was a really fun one to watch, absolutely. Again, whenever there's that numbers advantage, I won't say that St. Clair crumbles, but it definitely gets a lot more difficult for them. Is Bozy going to hop up on top of the pyramid again? I really want to see it. Do it for me, Bozy. Okay, no, he's just going to be boring and hang out on the ground. But you know what? It's consistent. It works. I can't complain too much, but there will be an opposing chamber ult coming in from Endeavor, as well as 3 other ults on the side of St. Clair.
Laird's bringing in some of that personal bias from their solo queue games in here.
I just like seeing cool things, man. It's just no bias included.
All right. That's fair. We like to see the cool. We like to see the magical. We like to see the impossible become possible. And this is one of the chances. Around the corner, a little bit of swing goes, but Gub with that line of sight annihilates the operator user, and Gub knows with that opt-down, it means a chance to use that Viper's Pit.
Viper's Pit is going to be really difficult to contend with. However, there is a Sova ult I could see potentially becoming very useful against this ult.
Oh, it is. It could be a chance at Mystic Nyx. You get one, but can't make it a 2K. Borge is going to lock down a 2K of their own instead, but now the Hunter's Fury zipping around, diving and dodging. That's going to be 2 shots.
Wow.
Can't find it, and it's down to 1 player alive inside of the top edge. Is able to land it with the Eris, but, I mean, Borge is just like, yeah, this is a little bit of pain. Brick,
Also, shouts to the camera work on that ult. That was real nice.
Oh,
I had a
yeah.
good time seeing that. Oh, but
Huge
Gub gonna
shout out
get
to
a
our
one-tap headshot.
Yeah. That's going to be it. It is now into match point. 1 round away. St. Clair are on the edge of cementing a 2-0 start to their Valorant season here with the NJCAAE.
One more round, and that will be a 2-0 victory for St. Clair. If we can see 5 straight rounds, actually 4 straight rounds, we will be going into overtime if Lackawanna can step it up here. But hey, step up they did. You know, that first game was very lopsided on Bind. They did a really good job of making this one competitive on Breeze. However, it isn't over yet. JRC gonna get a nice bounce. The lineup?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, you got that. That was hot.
It was so beautiful. And in the meantime, Mystic Nyx was able to find one. Well, at least a little bit of a low tempo, but Brick able to find Gub, and Borge fires away at Brick. They are going to stabilize, so it's a 4v3. It's more that you could have, more than you probably could have hoped for. The null command giving an extra life and opportunity in the lineup, really not granting too much.
There will be a rotation, but they're going to run into Bozy here. Hang on, cover those flanks. Ooh, gets one. Not going to get 2.
It was looking good, and you give the one. You give the one, right?
Keep in mind, Darren is almost 1-tap here, but Globe is going to cover this one up, make the push a little bit more difficult, give some time to Joyboy to get here. However, they will ignore the smoke, and they're just going to hop right through. There's one. Good for 2. Not going to get it. The bad swing.
Down to a 3K. 1 left alive. Joyboy, what can you do? 10 HP in a dream and a half. You're hoping for a prayer to come down and be answered using every piece of utility. You do anything you can. But it's not going to be enough. Endeavors through, and it's a 13-8 to eclipse the 2-0 for St. Clair College.
Hey, a heck of an effort from Lackawanna, though, especially on that map, too. They did a lot of stuff that was really gritty, very, very impressive. And you know what? I would not be disappointed in this loss. This is one of the premier teams in the collegiate esports scene in St. Clair. And you made it very competitive for the most part on that second map. You have nothing to be ashamed about, my friends.
No, and I mean, and just imagine if this team is able to personify this level of strength, right? This understanding of Breeze into maybe other unique map picks, right? We're talking about the Pearl, we're talking about the Fracture. There are chances to just absolutely flub some of these other teams, and we've seen it, right? Going into playoffs, there's a reason that we have best of 3s and best of 5s. You have to show your strengths on all of them. You become a master of the unique, and it lends itself a certain strength that can be used against some of these other teams. But of course, that goes the same for St. Clair, right? They came out with some great adaptability that I love to see. I mean, taking a look at just some of their players, right? It was, I want to say it was Gub, right? One of the step ups, and then Borge. These two were the ones that always, my eyes were kind of zoned in on.
Yeah, the combination of those two in particular. You have Gub, who is one of the hardest defensive players I've ever seen in this game. And then you have Borge, who is really, really good at just pestering whatever team's coming in. You know, they're not necessarily an unstoppable offensive force, but what they are is really good on the sticks, really good at avoidance, and really good at baiting out some of the more aggressive util coming in from whatever team. Then that allows them to get the flanks that they need, as well as pick up these kills. So the two of them, they're going to go places.
Oh, yeah, and I can't wait to see them, even in the playoffs. I hope we get to cast them again, because it was so much fun. But, of course, we are not done just yet. Yeah, let's get them again. But right now, we are going to get an interview. We are going to get Gub coming in here to give us a little bit of insight about the start to St. Clair's run and what they hope to accomplish here at the NJCAAE conference. So let's go ahead, send it to a quick break, get everything ready, and we'll be back in just a few. This is St. Clair for a bit more. JRC just walks through, bold as everything, and Gub follows up as well.
This round, but Borge is starting to claw this one back a little bit with some really good usage of the Jet Util. As well as Marshall picks up a Spectre, still not going to be enough, and it is merely one man standing. JRC on site has to deal with 3 of his competitors with a planted spike, and yep, not going to do it.
Right now, St. Clair are going to go ahead and look for the defuse, but in goes a little bit of a sonar dart, really smartly done. But Borge gets a blind shot through the wall, and that leads an opportunity for the rest of the team.
Yep, finally gonna get that plant down. Brick has the recon drone out. Globe's gonna get the plant. JRC gets 1 hit, and that is a thrifty kill.
Through the south, they say we are gonna make it work. Mystic Nix finds one. Gub able to find another. But Globe evens it out, and Endeavor says, gimme those 2 to 4 kills. That's 3. A bit of extra damage on their side. But with Globe already on the site, is going to lay down the plan. No, they tried. Oh, my lord, they tried. Brick was able to find Darren's life, but Gub immediately answered back and said, no plan for you here today. Brick on their own, though, is going to get the swing. The transfer is too real. Just try and save and say, let me get some of those frags.
There's one.
Find one more. Are you going to get Borge? We know what Borge can do. Gets the dash prepped. Is going to look to swing and try and make a moment happen. So looks the play up and finds a sleepy Globe. What a tag right there, G. Gonna have to work your magic. Working a little bit slow, but took a shot. Now gonna be blinded. Able to spray down on 1. Joy Boy is gonna fall. JRC, can you land a shot? You got the Vandal in hand. Globe waiting around the corner. And you are spotted.
Yep.
Globe with the 4K.
Giving them a lot of momentum going forward. Darren trying to get some KO. Suppresses. Endeavor and Globe are gonna trade. That's a huge pickup from Darren.
It is. If you can get this out, it will be great. But look at that. The Colat Plus is going to lay into that door. That's a huge flood of teammates. 1, 2, 2. And they are moving like an experienced cleanup crew. Gub, last one alive, is going to fall. And Lackawanna clean up that pistol with
corner. Gonna be a bit of a defuse from Globe. Excellent trade. Are they just gonna stick it? Yeah, they are.
Oh.
No, but they're not gonna do it. And the thrifty win. Globe and Nix. Joy Boy trying to push through as well. Brick gets one. Darren, though, like I said, in the right moments, Darren can get these kills. And I think they were trying to catch the rotation over to B. However, no one on A moved. So there is going to be Bozy. Gets the flank. Gets one, not able to hit Gub.
Seeing it coming to play in full force. Look at that, just an angle on the side. Darren, I mean, you saw the arm and you took the swing. Beauty of a shot. Globe, though, what? Hold on, what? Well, JRC saying, hey, I think someone's right around this corner. And Bozy said, yeah, I am. Globe able to find JRC. And now the pinch for Darren is able to grab 1 or 2. But my God, Borge is just like, yeah, this is a little bit of pain. Brick,
also, shout out to the camera work on that ult. That was real nice.
Oh,
I had a good time seeing that. Oh, but Gub gonna get a one-tap headshot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup 2022. Once again, I'm still Septulence, but this time I am joined by the CEO of New Street, Eric, who's going to get to tell us about NFTs, which I'm really excited because I told you this before the interview. I know nothing. I'm like a newborn baby about this.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear kind of about what you do, and then we can talk a little bit more about the esports side of things.
Yeah, so absolutely. We'll get into the NFT side in a second. But just to quickly explain what I do,
Yeah, of course.
Eric Witchen, thank you for the intro. CEO of New Street, and New Street is a media and analytics platform for collectors. So you can think about it as like the world of collectibles has grown significantly over the last 5 to 10 years. And what's happened is we've had a lot of marketplaces evolve. So places that are going to sell you things. Like if I want to buy a pair of sneakers, I have to go to no less than 10 to 12 websites in order to figure out the best price. So you know, the value proposition for us starts with, you know, as a collector, where can I buy these things on the internet and where can I get the best deal possible? And then furthermore, we add media and insights, you know, sort of like a financial technology company would do, but around things that I personally care about a lot more than stocks.
Right.
So that's us.
Absolutely. So looking at it, you know, NFTs being one thing, esports being the other.
Yeah.
Where's the link?
Yeah.
Where's the connection there?
So first off, let's demystify NFTs a little bit.
Oh yes, please.
So first of all, an NFT is the first time in human history that we've been able to prove that something digital is scarce.
Yeah.
You need to take that in for a second. So basically, we've been creating things on the internet and with digital art and otherwise for many, many years. We're buying in-game items, we're doing a bunch of things, and we've been taught that because you can copy and paste those things, they have no value, right? Enter the blockchain, and the blockchain allows us to be able to prove that something digital is truly owned by one particular person.
Sure.
So you can copy and paste that thing as many times as you want,
Is it
but
like
you
a
don't own it.
certificate then?
It's absolutely like a certificate of authenticity, certificate of ownership that could represent a digital asset or a physical asset just as equally.
Right.
There are people playing with this in real estate markets. I mean, so collectibles, is just one of the areas that this thing is interesting in. But in terms of esports, I think it connects very much to. When you think about all the work that you do as a gamer in these ecosystems, what happens if one day this ecosystem, this company that controls this ecosystem no longer...
And we are back. Thank you so much, everyone, for waiting so patiently because we had the winners, St. Clair College, coming out 2-0 in their opening matchup here. It was through, I believe, Bind and then, of course, on Breeze. A little bit of a struggle on Breeze, but still with the win, and I can't wait to see what they have to say because we have Gub coming on here to talk to us a little bit about their win and how they played. Gub, how are you feeling after that? I know game 1 was pretty clean, and then game 2, a little bit of flubs here and there, but overall taking the victory.
Yeah, to be honest, I was in a flow state, and when I do, I have a good read on the game, and it's kind of hard to stop us, in my opinion. I kind of know where everyone was on the map. It's pretty easy to throw some clutches out and whatnot. My aim was pretty decent today, so yeah.
So starting off on on Bind, obviously, with a 13-2 victory on that one. How do you guys feel about that one? What was your thought process going into that first set?
Bind is definitely one of our strongest maps. We've been practicing it a lot recently, and just rolling teams and scrims and matches and officials. So we were pretty confident going in. Everything went our way. We played good trades, a couple good clutches here and there. So, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Gov, real quick, I just want to talk about that idea of clutching because I don't think anyone on your team exemplifies that quite as well as you do. I mean, I was saying it on mic. You are an absolute defensive stalwart for your team.
Thank you.
Of course. Why do you feel that role is super important for you to play of all people?
I think it just comes with experience. I've been playing FPSs for a long time, so whenever I'm in those situations, I got the ice in my veins. The clutches just come easy to me. I don't panic, and I just understand where everyone's at.
So map 2, Breeze. That was a little bit of a harder fight for you guys than the Bind one was. After you guys swapped over to offense, what kind of adjustments did you audible to your team that you guys needed to make in order to take the victory today?
We kind of just played off their comp. We knew that they're going to be really aggressive somewhere, so we just kind of played together, used our util up, got the trades going into sites, and then played smart after that.
So, Gub, you've made a lasting impression here today. The people in the chat love you. I was taking a couple glances there mid-set, and the people are all Gub fans. What do you have to say to the people at home who cheered you on today?
Shout out to the fans, shout out to the people that supported me along the journey. I hope they get to see more of me, hope they get to see more of the school, and hope to bring more W's.
Of course, and I think that's awesome already, establishing that brand, right? Getting that going, but looking past that, even you got so much more to play, right? In this 7-week regular season, as we got who is that in the back? Who's that in the back?
This is Borge, my crackhead.
Hey! Hello. Obviously, you can't hear us. Ask him why he wasn't top frag this time. Oh no,
hey,
no,
Borge,
don't do that.
Why weren't you top frag?
No, don't.
It sounds much more rude coming from you.
I know.
Don't worry, I keep him in check.
All right. You guys played phenomenally well, and the question, of course, is over the course of this season, right? We're going to see teams, like Lackawanna, try and bring themselves up even further. So what are you guys prepping in advance? Are there any new maps that you're very excited to test out? Maybe the new Fracture or Pearl, or are you just, going to give them a taste of the old 1-2 and really hone your skills in just those finite ways?
Our map pool is pretty deep. We're still early on in the season, so we got a lot more to do, but any team can challenge us on any map. I'll tell them that.
I love it. The confidence there to go ahead and say, bring it on, no matter what map, no matter where we go. I'm very excited to see it, Gub. Thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations on the victory here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yep, have a good time. Go celebrate, my friend.
I will.
All right,
All
but that is going to conclude our production here today. Thank you all again so much for tuning in to this production of Esports U.
Yeah, this is going to be a good time. Have a good one, everyone. We will see you all next time.
Stay safe. Take care.
My name is Dusty. I'm 24 years old, and uh, this is my first year at Bay State College and first year towards um, my bachelor's there. But I've been going to college for a few years now, or several years now.
Cool. What are you studying?
Right now, I am studying human resource management in
Nice.
business. Yeah.
Do you like Bay State so far?
Yes. Yeah. It's been pretty good so far. It's only been one quarter, but I like it so far. So.
Where are you from?
I'm from SoCal. I'm doing it remotely from Southern California.
So, what games do you play? What's your main game?
My main game is Smash Brothers, and that's what I compete in. So Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Okay, what character do you like?
Wii Fit Trainer is my main character.
So, how has it been being part of a collegiate team at Bay State? Have you been on a collegiate team before?
I've been on teams before. I don't know if I've been on a collegiate team before. Um, I think this is my first collegiate team, but it is really nice, and the teammates are really supportive, and I've met some cool people, so that's nice. But I definitely do have experience like with teams, so uh, it's nothing like super new, but it's always good to be in a team, you know, have that support.
A fresh team. Yeah, that's cool. So, how long have you been playing Smash?
I've been playing Smash for about like 7-ish years now. Well, I've kind of played it since I was like really young, but like competitively, I've played it like 7 years. I played since the release of Smash 4, which is the previous Smash game, and now I've played into Ultimate, so quite a while.
What has been your proudest moment since playing Smash?
That's hard to say because I've honestly had a lot of good moments. It's just I feel like every other week or every other month I have a new moment where I'm like, wow, that's the best I've ever played, which feels good and makes it, you know, I keep going for stuff like that. But every time I play and I play a tournament set and it feels really good and I feel like I'm playing the best I've ever played. Probably each of those consecutive moments. I just had a tournament a couple weekends ago in Las Vegas where I placed ninth out of nearly 400, I think, and I think that was one of the best I've ever played, and that felt really good. So that was a really big accomplishment for me.
So, you would definitely say over the past 7 years, you said that you've grown a lot in the game?
Yeah, I think I've grown a lot in the game, and I think I've also grown a lot just as a person too. Just like competition in general, there's a lot of learning, and there's a lot of you know a lot of ways to approach it. I've learned how to teach other people as well because I do coaching as well, stuff like that. Um, so I've learned a lot through Smash. Yeah,
How long have you been doing the coaching part?
coaching I've been doing maybe a year and a half ish, maybe almost 2 years. I'm actually not sure on the number. I think a year and a half is probably closer to the right one. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun too. It's really interesting because it gives you a different perspective on the game, and not only are you helping other people, but you kind of help yourself in a way too because you can kind of see things from a different perspective, you know. So
How would you describe yourself? Do you like competing more or playing for fun or
I'm definitely more of a competitor. Ever since I was young, like I remember playing like board games um with like friends or something. I think I was waiting for them to play, and I think some of them were playing like just like house rules or whatever, and I was like really young, and it like made me upset. I'm like, you guys aren't playing it the right way or whatever. But like I've always been a competitor, but at the same time, like you have to have fun because if you're only a competitor and you're only competing and it's all seriousness, like it's there's like a limit to that. So like you have to have fun. So definitely both, but I definitely lean towards the competitive sides of things. So I like optimizing things and seeing the best thing you can do because it all started out with like uh it all started out with it just being fun because when I was younger, I played different games and I originally just played them for fun and I played them all the time, but I played them so often and I got so good at them to the point where uh, it just started to naturally lean into the competitive side of things. And I was so good to the point where I was like, oh, okay, what can I do to make myself like better? And how can I see this as like something I can improve at? So it kind of made like a transition a little bit, but so it's both.
If you were to give someone advice who may be looking into joining an esports team, but they're kind of on the fence, what would you tell them?
My advice would be to really like think over what they're looking for, like in not only in the collegiate esports team but in school as well, and like see like exactly does this line up with what they really want, and just to figure out what they really want and if it's going to be a good decision, from like a scholarly standpoint and from like a financial standpoint, because there's a lot of things to consider. Like I thought it over a lot before I realized, okay, yes, this is a really good decision, I should go for this. So that's something that should be considered. And also like the time frame as well, because if you commit yourself to a collegiate team, it could